I'm Jessica Ghaie.
And I'm Paul Ghaie. Brother and sister
from Blackhearts Sparrows.
Yeah.
And we've been operating since 2005.
Yes.
Hospitality, it's all about service. It's about making people feel good. It's about delivering. And
Experience.
It's giving them a unique experience. It's trying to give them the best experience you possibly can.
It's about feeling special.
Yeah. Those warm, fuzzy feelings that you get.
A little bit of respite.
Yeah.
You know, a place to escape what's going on in the day-to-day and in the world, the greater world in general. So
yeah, and to explore your other senses, your taste, you
you go to especially a restaurant. You go to a restaurant that's well designed with great food, great wine, great service. You just live in that moment for that 1 or 2 hours that you're there, and I think we all need that.
I love to taste wine. Close your eyes, and all you get is you concentrate on the smells and the
sitting up at a bar at the pass or whatever, watching a kitchen operate is it's otherworldly, and you unless you've worked in it, you have no understanding of it. It's sometimes it's symphonic, sometimes it's chaos, but it's always, whenever you go out to a good hospitality venue, it's an otherworldly experience.
Yeah.
I mean, what we saw, I guess 3 weeks ago when all the restaurants were allowed to open again, was people getting out and people so happy to get out, and it's a way to escape the daily grind, your routine, and again give you something that you don't get every day at home. And it's about that word hospitality, and that it's service and
it's a little reward for yourself.
Yeah, and we've sort of been telling our staff that while we're open through, we're lucky enough to be open throughout all of this, that they're doing more than just selling a commodity. They're this little sort of beacon of light for people in a pretty dreary time.
They're there to lighten up their day and to make them feel warm and welcomed. And,
someone comes in and they get a nice smile and a welcome, and they walk out with something great to drink that night. It's a little bright spark in their day that they wouldn't otherwise have. So, yeah. You have to keep going. I guess the biggest thing for us throughout all of this is we've got over 100 staff that we need to be ensuring that we're really looking out for their welfare, their safety, their security. So that's what's really kept us going, is just making sure that everyone who works with us and for us feels supported. Through a time where there's been a lot of anxiety and a lot of community fear.
They're there to help keep the community calm and offer that service.
And I think just the fact that we can, as I said before, be this little beacon of light for people, I think that really sort of keeps pushing us to ensure that we're delivering something that makes people happy. The guys have had numerous customers that they just come in probably a little too regularly under the circumstances, but just because they can have that 5 minutes of chatting to someone else who is empathetic and listens, and makes them feel that they're not going through this alone. Customers come in and give us sketches of shop fronts, sketches of bottles. So people have been, they've been using their time at home pretty well, and it makes the staff feel really good as well, because then I think they then get a sense that they're making a bit of a difference as well. So,
and we want the staff to learn about customers, their names and their children's names and what they do, and so it's including, it's been a big part of the family. So
well, and our stores are very neighbourhood based, so they do sort of form this little community around them, and I think the fact that we've been able to be open has definitely helped. So it's been great.
Paul and I always set out to have shops that had a unique feel about them, whether it be the way they were designed or the way they smelt or the music that was playing or even the way that we spoke about wine. So we very consciously set out to achieve that, and each store of ours is individual, and I think that's what makes us, Blackhearts and Sparrows. I wanted it to be like a clothing store, Clothing stores are beautiful, and you can, there was just no one doing any of that sort of stuff. It was.
And we wanted people to come in and if they describe the wine, I want something that's kind of red and slurpy. It's like, well, this is for you. We understand you. We're not going to be like, I've got no idea what you're talking about. So it was just making it simple to buy wine and fun. So
it was all too serious back then. I guess the range of product that we sell is very similar, but each personality in that store brings its own, the unique characters themselves. So I guess that's different. And what else? And we, as I said, we designed them differently depending on the architecture of the building or the room, whatever it was.
Yeah, and we've sort of grown quite organically. So for us, we never wanted to set out, we never had any intention to set out and have a cookie cutter kind of rollout of what the stores look like. So they've all happened at different times. And as Jess touched on, like trying to speak to the history of the building, the history of the area, looking at the demographics in each store. So it's just individualising them a little bit, whilst maintaining a similar quality of range and trying to make sure that the service standards are. I think that's the biggest thing that we're proud of. I think and it is that consistency of service across all the stores. I think that's really important.
I think so.
I don't know about Australians in general,
but Australians.
But certainly, in the little microcosm that is our first shop that still exists over in Windsor, we really wanted to sort of branch out and try something completely different that people of our age. Back then, I was early 30s, and you were mid 20s, and there was nowhere you could go into a specialist wine store and have a casual but informative conversation about wine with maybe a budget of $20 that looked good from a design aesthetic. The service was warm and welcoming. So I think we definitely wanted to shake up what was the sort of model of what a fine wine store was back then. So we definitely set out that. The fact that we've expanded the way we have is it sort of continues to drive us so that we think that wherever we open a store, we are hopefully educating and expanding people's wine and drinks journeys. Yeah. That's a pretty exhaustive list. Pretty impressive. I don't know where we. There
were people in there that I remember. I used to record episodes on TV as a child and things like that. So it's kind of cute to be. We didn't set out to do any of this kind of stuff for the recognition, but the fact that our peers and people we really admire have selected us for this it's super humbling, and we're really honoured, and we hope we can catch up sometime, not in the not too distant future, and thank them in person, because it's really wonderful. Yeah. I think for me and Jess, we always talk about how important our staff are, and I just want to acknowledge. Yeah, we couldn't have done it without them.
And we've got some people that have worked for us for 10 plus years who have been integral to our journey and our success,
and our growth,
and helping us maintain our values across. We're a pretty small business in many facets, so. We don't have the resources of a large company, but we've certainly haven't been able to do what we've done without the sort of hard work and buy-in and efforts of a lot of the staff that have been with us from when we started and through to now even. So I think that's really important to acknowledge them.